I would love you to see yourself the way we see you.
And I'm sure there's tons of people that do this. So here's this negative thinking coming out right now. In my mind, I'm thinking there's already hundreds of people in the world that do this. So what,
Exactly.
how am I going to provide any value to other
Yeah.
people? I'm thinking that in my mind, even as I say this, because there's 7 billion people on Earth. Somebody else has already thought this up. But maybe it needs to come from me. Maybe I connect with maybe I connect with different people than these other people. You know what I mean? And it's still hard for me to accept that in my mind.
Yeah.
Because I'm just this lowly music teacher. Who am I to affect the world? But that's that negative thinking. My Facebook experience, for example, before I started this whole SFM thing, video day, all that kind of stuff, was very, very, very minimal. In fact, I didn't even have a Facebook page until I think about a year ago. And the only reason I got one is because I had noticed I have a piano tuning business, and piano tuning and repair. So I'm a piano technician and also a full-time orchestra teacher.
Whoa.
Okay.
Okay.
So that explained the fancy shirt and the bow tie the other day.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was a concert. I did a concert, and the kids are awesome. So it's a fun job,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I was wearing my tuxedo shirt and my white bow tie. Yeah. But anyway, so I found this Facebook page of my piano tuning business that was not me, and it was some company online that was, a marketing company, I'm sure, that was just sort of grabbing different companies and throwing them on their website, and then they create this Facebook page so they get traffic to their website. So I didn't give them permission to do this, obviously, and so I had to go through Facebook, and I finally got them to delete it, and I just said, I'm just going to create my own Facebook page for my business, and I couldn't do that unless I created a personal page. So I'm like, fine, I'll do this, I just put all the restriction settings, so I was nobody could find me or anything, the personal page anyway.
Yeah.
So that's where I had come from. I just barely this year finished my PhD in music education.
Congrats.
Thanks. It took me 8 years to do it. So I've been going to college a lot. And so I'm like a perpetual learner, usually by choice, But aren't we all learners? We're learning every day. So maybe it's just ingrained in me once I finished my PhD, or just in the midst of doing it. And I was thinking, I love teaching orchestra and I love education, but there's a lot of things I don't like about the way the education system's set up, and the way I don't feel like I have all the autonomy that I would like as a teacher, and it's sort of frustrating to me. So I've just been thinking, before I found the SFM, I've just been thinking, maybe there's something else I can do to make some more money. And it's not even money, really. It's just because I'm working a ton. And I wanted to sort of back off somehow, but still keep it the same level of life that I have. And so I was looking for something else. And the whole idea of, and I'm used to running my own business, with my piano technician business. And I've been doing that for 20 years. And I have tons of new clients recently. And you know what they say, if you're too busy, raise your prices, right?
Yeah.
So I raised my prices at the beginning of this year, and I'm probably going to raise them again in January, because there's only so much time in the day.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why I just love this whole opportunity with the SFM. I know that it will work if I put forth the effort. I mean, I just know it is. I just feel it in my gut, you know. And it's not for everybody. I've realized in my life that anybody can do anything. It's just a matter if they want to do it.
Yeah.
You know, and anybody could do that stuff, really. Yeah. I mean, there's people out there who'll enjoy listening to anybody, you know. We all have something to share.
You seem to have that stability, not only in you as, you know, John Findlay, but especially when I saw the clip with you and your wife.
Oh, right.
I love that one.
Because the story behind that is that, you know, Hannah and I had this conversation. We were saying, like, you know, we the two of us, we need to be in a really good place, and we have to be on the same page when it comes to our relationship. You know?
Yeah.
Before
Definitely.
we embark on this, which is possibly going to be a very long journey into, you know, in what we want to do. But the two of us, the foundation has to be stable. And I think when I saw you and I thought, I want to interview this guy, but there was something about you that I saw that I kind of got confirmation from when I saw you and your wife together.
Yep, she's amazing. She's a lot stronger in many areas than I am. She's been an awesome example to me.
Yeah.
But talking, what you're talking about is so true. You know, the SFM is all wonderful and money's great and all of these things in the world are just, but there's a lot of great things. But when it comes down to the number one priority in our lives, first of all, you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're not healthy, you know, mentally, physically, emotionally, all those types of things, it's got to start there. And of course, none of us are perfect at that. But we need to get to a level where we can function. And once that's to that point, then you look outside yourself. I mean, you should be looking outside yourself anyway, but when you are functioning properly, you can look outside yourself, and then you need these strong relationships like you guys and like my wife and I. When you have that strong relationship with at least one other person, then it makes you so much better. Whoever it is, you know, whether it's a spouse or a friend or whoever, but then you can progress even more because then you're working together. Several years ago, when I was about 2 years into my PhD, she had some major health issues, and see, that's that thing where she needed to sort of turn inwardly and say, what do I need to heal? You know, I need to heal. So she was pretty much a single mother for a year or two because I did my sabbatical my first year where I stopped teaching for a whole school year and just went to school myself for a whole calendar year. And we had 5 children at home, and I would come home on the weekend and I'd go to the university throughout the week, it's about 60 miles away. And so I didn't have time to come home on, you know, every day. So it was tough. And so after those first 2 years of finishing my coursework, my wife something had been building up. And so she had all these health issues. Anyway, don't want to make this too long, but she started to turn. She went to doctors. They said, oh, you're low in potassium, you know, and she was having all these panic attacks and numbness in her hands and arms and feet and all this kind of stuff. And this whole process of going through this helped her to turn to new sources of information. And she was able to find sort of like alternative medicine. Excuse me, like alternative medicine to us in America, we found, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, is less alternative in Europe and places outside of America, because things like just, you know, eating healthier, you know, taking supplements, and, you know, high quality supplements, and eating high quality foods instead of taking drugs, you know what I mean? So anyway, this whole process, she was able to find a new way to help other people, because she went through all this and then she wanted to help others. And in the process of this, she learned more about personal development, and it brought me in on that. And the thing we were talking about the other day that you guys watched, we went to this conference for husbands and wives, and I didn't want to go at all. I was like, this is going to be so dumb, you know. But it was great. And it took me a few hours to sort of start to warm up to it. It was a 3-day conference. But I did the best I could because I loved my wife and I wanted her to be happy. And so, but that sort of started us down this more of a road of personal development stuff, which I love. Absolutely love personal development types of things.
Yeah.
And that's another reason I like the SFM.
SFM, yeah.
Because I feel like it's very much in that realm of personal development. This is sort of a marathon for me, not a sprint.
Yeah.
Because I have to prioritize my time. And anyway, so I love this whole personal development thing with the SFM, and my wife loves it too, and she's been happy with the progress I've made too, just with this whole 90-day video challenge thing. And you mentioned that you feel like I felt comfortable. Not at all at the beginning. I mean, you guys are probably not like this, but I don't like listening to myself talk or seeing myself.
Same here.
You guys look amazing. You know, for me, even now, I'm just like, no. So at the very beginning, I was not used to talking on a video. I mean, I'm used to talking, and yeah, you guys do awesome, by the way. I do talk in front of kids. It's orchestra, so I try to play more than I talk. But as far as being in front of people, it's not a big deal for me. I have very little fear of public speaking or talking in front of a lot of people. As long as I know beforehand a little bit what I'm going to talk about, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
If I have no clue what I'm going to talk about, then I'm nervous, you know.
Yeah.
But the ironic thing is that when I was growing up in school, you know, as a kid, I was very, very shy and very introverted. And so to be where I'm at now is people wouldn't have believed it. You know?
So what changed that though? What do you feel made you go from maybe being very introverted to standing in front of people in the way you do?
Well, I don't think it was necessarily like one event per se, but just a combination of things that have happened in my life. And I still like to be by myself occasionally. You know, I need some people when they talk to other people. Some people, they just get energy talking to people, you know, and for me, it's the opposite. I really enjoy talking to people and getting to know people, but then I need to be silent. I need to be by myself.
Yeah, definitely.
But anyway, probably the beginnings of it was, I don't know if you know this, but I served a mission for my church where I went for 2 years to another place. I went to Ohio. So I'm from Utah. I don't know how, you guys probably know America a lot better than I know Europe. Anyway, so I went there for 2 years and I had to talk to total strangers. And so that was scary. But by the end, I got better at it. And then I came home and I went to school and I was still kind of introverted, you know, and I was like, I'm never going to get married, you know, because I didn't really talk to a lot of people, you know.
Yeah.
And so it's just sort of this slow process of recognizing in myself that I needed to change or to do something differently, and then just slowly trying to make changes, you know. And choosing to be a teacher was definitely helpful because you have to be in front of people all day. And my dad was a music teacher too for 35 years in the school system. So that's probably what helped me to choose that. I loved music. I was going to be a PE teacher. But then I was like, maybe I should do music because I love music, and I play the cello as my main instrument, and I've played that since I was 9. But now I play all the string instruments in the orchestra, and I'm a conductor. I've conducted professional, semi-professionally, and then I wanted to get a conducting doctorate, but I would have had to quit teaching for 2 years, and I just couldn't afford to do that. And so I did a PhD instead in music education. So going through this whole process of just letting myself have opportunities and just to talk to people and to get to know people, I've gotten to this point. We're all a product of our experiences. So
yeah, of course.
You guys are at the place in your life from the experiences you've gone through, and hopefully we learn from the things we messed up on and try to do better. And I'm not perfect by any means. There's still things I'm really trying to work on and get better at. But I feel like I'm in a good place moving forward in my life. And Misa, my wife, she has really helped too. It's that whole thing I was talking about, having somebody there with you.
Yeah. Definitely.
And she has really helped me to get out of my comfort zone in a lot of areas too, like taking me to that conference. That was totally outside my comfort zone. Oh my goodness, I can't even tell you. Oh man. Anyway, it was good though. It was good. Something I've learned is that we tell ourselves truths and lies in our mind. Yeah. And most of them are lies. These negative thoughts, like you're talking about. Yeah. And in fact, there's been studies about it even. I don't have the exact numbers, but I know it's a very high percentage of thoughts that we have are negative. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, my wife just chimed in. 74? Hello from us. They say, you better come and say hello in the... Here she is.
Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Get your head down. There you go.
Love your videos, by the way. The two of you together are powerhouse. Oh, okay. But anyway, anyway, let her know. Let her know I said.
Oh, thank you.
All right. So 74% are the negative thoughts, and so one of the things that I would like to do better myself is to combat those. Mm-hmm. And one of the things one of the trainings we went to, this guy taught us this awesome way to do that. And it's to take a piece of paper, and on one side you write down any negative thoughts that you can think that come into your mind regularly, which we all have a lot of them. And so you put that on one side of a page. The other side, you put 2 positive thoughts that are the complete opposite of the negative, because really those negative thoughts are lies. They really are, because we are amazing. We're humans. We are intellectual beings. We have spirits. We have infinite possibility, infinite potential. And so all these negative thoughts are just tearing us down. And so what you do is once you've written your 2 lists, you got your negative on the left and your positive on the right with double the amount of positive. Then you rip off the negative and you burn it or rip it up or shred it or whatever, throw it away, stomp on it, because it's not right. It's not real. Another really important thing that I learned in personal development studies is that if you want your significant other or someone close to you to be better, you have to be better. You can't say, oh, I want Hannah here to change. I really don't like this thing that she's doing. Instead, you say, I need to be better at this thing. I need to be a better person here, and just let it go. Yeah. And that immediately brings everybody else around you up, because you are being better. And so everybody around you wants to be better. It's just a natural thing. And the opposite works too. If you're doing things that aren't so great, the people around you are going to go down with you, in a sense.
Yeah. Thank you so much, John Findlay. You're amazing. We really appreciate that.
Yeah. You guys have an awesome day.
Same
too.
to you.
Okay,
Bye-bye.
Bye.